Hello and welcome to Daily Dose of English. I'm Tom and I'm here to help you build your English confidence step by step, day by day. In today's episode, we're going to explore something that every English learner struggles with: how to develop real confidence when speaking English. Not just understanding, but actually speaking with confidence and ease. I'll be speaking slowly and clearly throughout this episode. Perfect for shadowing practice. That means you can repeat after me, matching my rhythm and pronunciation. This is one of the most powerful ways to improve your speaking skills. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey together. Why confidence matters more than perfection. Let me start with a simple truth. Confidence in English is not about being perfect. It's not about knowing every word or never making mistakes. Real confidence comes from being comfortable with your current level and knowing you can communicate effectively, even with imperfect English. Many learners tell me, "Tom, I know the grammar rules. I understand when people speak, but when it's my turn to talk, I freeze. My mind goes blank. I feel so nervous." Does this sound familiar? If yes, you're not alone. This happens to millions of English learners around the world. The problem is not your English level. The problem is your confidence. And confidence is something you can build, just like a muscle. You don't need to wait until your English is perfect. You can start building confidence today, right now, with the English you already have. Let's practice some confidence-building sentences together. Remember, after each sentence, you'll hear a pause. That's your time to repeat. Ready? Let's go. I am learning English every day. Now you repeat. My English is getting better. Now you repeat. I can communicate in English. Now you repeat. Mistakes help me learn. Now you repeat. I am proud of my progress. Now you repeat. The 3 pillars of English confidence. Building confidence in English rests on 3 main pillars. Think of these as the foundation of a house. Without a strong foundation, the house cannot stand. Without these 3 pillars, your confidence will always feel shaky. Pillar 1. Consistent daily practice. The first pillar is consistent daily practice. Notice I said daily, not weekly or monthly. Confidence grows from familiarity, and familiarity comes from regular contact with English. You don't need hours of study. Even 15 minutes a day is enough if you do it consistently. But what kind of practice builds confidence? Let me share some specific activities that work. First, morning affirmations in English. Start your day by saying positive sentences about your English journey. Second, evening reflections. Before bed, speak about your day in English, even if just for 2 minutes. Third, shadow real conversations. Use podcasts, videos, or audio like this one to practice speaking along with native speakers. Let's practice some daily practice sentences. These are perfect for your morning routine. Today I will practice English. Now you repeat. I will speak without fear. Now you repeat. English is becoming easier for me. Now you repeat. I enjoy learning new words. Now you repeat. Every day I improve. Now you repeat. Pillar 2. Embracing mistakes as teachers. The second pillar is learning to embrace mistakes. This might be the hardest pillar for many learners, but it's also the most important. Every mistake you make is a teacher in disguise. It shows you exactly what to work on next. Think about how children learn to speak their first language. They make hundreds of mistakes every day. They say things like I goed instead of I went, or childs instead of children. But nobody stops them. Nobody tells them to be quiet until their grammar is perfect. They keep speaking, keep making mistakes, and keep improving. You need the same attitude with English. When you make a mistake, don't feel ashamed. Feel curious. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I say it better next time? This shift in mindset will transform your learning journey. Let's practice some sentences about embracing mistakes. Mistakes are my teachers. Now you repeat. I learn from every error. Now you repeat. Speaking with mistakes is better than not speaking. Now you repeat. Native speakers make mistakes too. Now you repeat. I am brave enough to try. Now you repeat. Pillar 3. Creating English environments. The third pillar is creating English environments in your daily life. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to surround yourself with English. You can create mini English environments wherever you are. Start with your phone. Change the language settings to English. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first, but within a week you'll be reading English naturally throughout the day. Next, label objects in your home with English words. Every time you see the label, your brain makes a connection. Then think in English during routine activities. When you're making coffee, washing dishes, or getting dressed, narrate what you're doing in English. These small changes add up to big results. They help your brain switch to English mode more easily. They make English feel less foreign and more familiar. And familiarity breeds confidence. Let's practice some environment-building sentences. I surround myself with English. Now you repeat. English is part of my daily life. Now you repeat. I think in English naturally. Now you repeat. My home helps me learn. Now you repeat. English feels familiar to me. Now you repeat. 5 practical techniques to build confidence. Now let's dive into 5 specific techniques you can use to build your English confidence. These are practical methods that thousands of learners have used successfully. Choose the ones that feel right for you. Technique 1. The mirror method. The mirror method is simple but powerful. Stand in front of a mirror and have conversations with yourself in English. Yes, it might feel strange at first, but there's science behind this technique. When you see yourself speaking English, your brain starts to accept this as your identity. You begin to see yourself as an English speaker. Start with simple introductions. Tell the mirror about yourself, your day, your plans. Then move to more complex topics. Explain your opinions. Tell stories. Even have debates with yourself. The mirror gives you a safe space to practice facial expressions, gestures, and body language that go with confident speaking. Let me give you a complete mirror practice routine. First, greet yourself warmly. Good morning. How are you today? Then share 3 things about your day. Today I need to go to work. I have a meeting at 2 o'clock. After work I want to exercise. Finally, end with encouragement. You're doing great with your English. Keep going. Let's practice some mirror method sentences. Hello, my name is. Now you repeat. I live in. Now you repeat. Today I feel. Now you repeat. Let me tell you about. Now you repeat. Thank you for listening. Now you repeat. Technique 2. The recording revolution. Recording yourself is like having a personal English coach. Use your phone to record yourself speaking English for just 1 or 2 minutes each day. Talk about anything. Your breakfast, your feelings, your plans, or summarize something you just learned. The magic happens when you listen back. You'll notice things you didn't realize while speaking. Maybe you speak too fast or too slow. Maybe you use the same words repeatedly. Maybe your pronunciation of certain sounds needs work. This awareness is golden for improvement. But here's the key. Be kind to yourself when listening. Don't focus only on mistakes. Notice what you do well too. Celebrate clear sentences, good pronunciation, and smooth delivery. Build on your strengths while working on weaknesses. Let's practice some recording-friendly sentences. This is my daily English recording. Now you repeat. Today I want to talk about. Now you repeat. Something interesting happened. Now you repeat. I'm getting better at. Now you repeat. That's all for today's recording. Now you repeat. Technique 3. The story building method. Stories are how humans have shared knowledge for thousands of years. Your brain is wired to remember and tell stories. Use this natural ability to build your English confidence. Start with one simple story from your life and practice telling it until it flows smoothly. Choose a story that's meaningful to you. Maybe it's about your first day at a new job, a funny thing that happened with your pet, or a time you overcame a challenge. Write down the key points, but don't memorize it word for word. Practice telling it slightly differently each time. This builds flexibility in your English. As you get comfortable with one story, add more to your collection. Soon you'll have a treasury of stories ready to share. This gives you confidence in social situations because you always have something interesting to say. Let's practice some story-starting sentences. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. Now you repeat. One time when I was young. Now you repeat. I'll never forget the day. Now you repeat. The funniest thing happened last week. Now you repeat. That reminds me of a story. Now you repeat. Technique 4. The Question Master Strategy. Questions are powerful tools for building confidence. When you master asking questions in English, you can keep any conversation going. You shift from worrying about what to say to being genuinely curious about others. This takes pressure off you and makes interactions more enjoyable. Start by learning one new question each day. Practice its pronunciation. Understand when to use it and look for opportunities to ask it. Build categories of questions. Questions about work, hobbies, opinions, experiences, and dreams. Having a mental library of questions gives you confidence in any social situation. Remember, good questions show interest in others. They open doors to connection. And when you're focused on understanding the answer, you forget to be nervous about your own English. Let's practice some versatile questions. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Now you repeat. How long have you been working here? Now you repeat. What's your opinion about? Now you repeat. Have you ever travelled to? Now you repeat. What would you recommend? Now you repeat. Technique 5. The comfort zone. Expansion method. Your comfort zone is where you feel safe with English. Maybe it's ordering coffee or greeting colleagues. Confidence grows when you gradually expand this zone. Each week, choose one small way to stretch yourself. If you usually only speak English in class, try using it at a store. If you only write emails, try making a phone call. If you only speak with other learners, try talking with a native speaker. Each stretch feels uncomfortable at first, but it quickly becomes part of your new, larger comfort zone. Keep a comfort zone journal. Write down each new situation where you used English. Note how you felt before, during, and after. You'll be amazed to see how things that scared you last month feel easy today. Let's practice some comfort zone expansion sentences. I can do hard things. Now you repeat. Today I will try something new. Now you repeat. I am braver than I think. Now you repeat. Each challenge makes me stronger. Now you repeat. My comfort zone is growing. Now you repeat. Understanding the confidence journey. Building confidence in English is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, speaking fluently and understanding everything. Other days you'll struggle with simple sentences and wonder if you're making any progress at all. This is completely normal. Think of confidence like the ocean tide. It comes in and goes out. The important thing is the overall direction. Are you generally more confident than you were 3 months ago? Can you do things now that scared you last year? These are the true measures of progress. Many learners expect confidence to arrive suddenly, like flipping a switch. But real confidence builds slowly through thousands of small moments. Each time you speak despite fear, each time you try after making a mistake, each time you understand something that was once difficult, these moments add up to create lasting confidence. Let's practice some journey-focused sentences. My confidence grows day by day. Now you repeat. I trust the learning process. Now you repeat. Small steps lead to big changes. Now you repeat. I am exactly where I need to be. Now you repeat. My journey is unique and valuable. Now you repeat. Common confidence killers and how to overcome them. Let's talk honestly about what kills confidence in English learners. These confidence killers are like weeds in a garden. If you don't address them, they'll take over and choke your progress. But once you recognize them, you can pull them out by the roots. The comparison trap. The first confidence killer is comparing yourself to others. You see someone speaking fluently and think, I'll never be that good. Or you meet someone who learned faster and feel discouraged. but comparison is unfair and unhelpful. You don't know their background, their advantages, or how much they've practiced. Your English journey is yours alone. Someone else's success doesn't diminish yours. In fact, seeing others succeed should inspire you. It proves that fluency is possible. Focus on your own progress, celebrate your own victories, and learn from others without comparing. Let's practice some anti-comparison sentences. My journey is my own. Now you repeat. I focus on my progress. Now you repeat. Others' success inspires me. Now you repeat. I am improving at my pace. Now you repeat. Comparison steals my joy. Now you repeat. The perfectionism prison. Perfectionism is perhaps the biggest confidence killer. Perfectionists wait for the perfect sentence before speaking. They replay conversations, criticizing every small mistake. They focus so much on being correct that they forget to communicate. But here's the truth. Perfection in language doesn't exist. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes, forget words and stumble over sentences. The goal isn't perfection, it's connection. When you speak English, you're trying to connect with another human, share ideas, and understand each other. That's beautiful and meaningful, even with mistakes. Let's practice some anti-perfectionism sentences. Done is better than perfect. Now you repeat. Communication matters more than perfection. Now you repeat. I accept my imperfect English. Now you repeat. Mistakes don't define me. Now you repeat. Progress over perfection. Now you repeat. The fear of judgment. Many learners are paralyzed by fear of what others think. What if they laugh at my accent? What if they think I'm stupid? What if they get impatient? These fears keep you silent and steal opportunities to practice and improve. But consider this. Most people admire anyone learning a second language. They understand it's difficult. They're usually patient and helpful. And those who judge, their opinion doesn't matter. You're doing something brave by learning English. Don't let fear of judgment stop you from achieving your dreams. Let's practice some courage-building sentences. I am brave for learning English. Now you repeat. Most people want to help me. Now you repeat. Judgment cannot stop me. Now you repeat. I speak for myself, not others. Now you repeat. My voice deserves to be heard. Now you repeat. Building long-term confidence habits. Real, lasting confidence comes from habits, not occasional efforts. Just like brushing your teeth keeps them healthy, daily confidence habits keep your English strong. Let me share the most effective habits for building unshakable confidence. Morning confidence rituals. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Create a morning ritual that builds your English confidence before you even leave home. This could be as simple as 5 minutes of English affirmations while you drink your coffee. Stand tall, take deep breaths, and speak positive truths about your English journey. I am an English speaker. I communicate clearly. People understand me. I improve every day. Say these with conviction. even if you don't fully believe them yet. Your brain will start to accept them as truth. You can also do morning shadowing practice with your favourite podcast or video. Choose content that inspires you and makes you feel good. Starting your day successfully in English creates momentum that carries through everything else. Let's practice some morning ritual sentences. Good morning, English speaker. Now you repeat. Today I speak with confidence. Now you repeat. My English serves me well. Now you repeat. I am ready for today's conversations. Now you repeat. English flows naturally from me. Now you repeat. Evening reflection practice. End each day by reflecting on your English use. This isn't about criticizing yourself, it's about noticing and appreciating. What English did you use today? What went well? What did you learn? This reflection helps your brain process and store the day's English experiences. Keep a simple English diary. Write 3 sentences about your day. They don't need to be complex or perfect. Today I spoke English at the store. The cashier understood me. I felt proud. This simple practice reinforces positive experiences and builds confidence over time. Before sleep, do a gratitude practice in English. I'm grateful for my improving pronunciation. I'm thankful for patient conversation partners. I appreciate my dedication to learning. Ending with gratitude creates positive associations with English. Let's practice some evening reflection sentences. Today I used English successfully. Now you repeat. I am proud of my efforts. Now you repeat. Tomorrow I will speak even more. Now you repeat. Every day brings improvement. Now you repeat. I sleep peacefully knowing I'm progressing. Now you repeat. Weekend confidence challenges. Weekends offer special opportunities for confidence building. With less work pressure, you can try new English challenges. Maybe visit a museum and read all displays in English. Perhaps join an online English conversation group, or challenge yourself to think only in English for 1 full hour. Create a weekend English bucket list. List 20 things you want to do in English someday. Then each weekend, try 1. Cook a recipe in English. Watch a movie without subtitles. Call a business to ask questions in English. Each completed challenge proves you can do more than you thought. Share your weekend English adventures with someone. Having an accountability partner makes you more likely to follow through. Plus, sharing successes amplifies the confidence boost. Celebrate together when you accomplish something that once seemed impossible. Let's practice some weekend challenge sentences. This weekend I challenge myself. Now you repeat. I try new things in English. Now you repeat. Weekends expand my comfort zone. Now you repeat. I celebrate my English adventures. Now you repeat. Monday finds me more confident. Now you repeat. The social side of confidence. Confidence doesn't exist in isolation. It grows through connection with others. Many learners practice alone and wonder why they freeze in real conversations. You need social practice to build social confidence. Let me show you how to do this safely and effectively. Finding your English tribe. Every confident English speaker needs a support network. This is your English tribe. People who understand your journey and support your growth. They might be fellow learners, patient native speakers, teachers, or online friends. The key is finding people who make you feel safe to practice and make mistakes. Start online if meeting people face to face feels too scary. Join English learning communities on social media. Participate in forum discussions. Share voice messages in learning apps. Online practice removes the pressure of real-time conversation while still building social confidence. Look for language exchange partners who need your native language. This creates balance. You're not just receiving help, but giving it too. Teaching your language while learning English boosts confidence because you see how patient you are with their mistakes in your language. Let's practice some tribe-building sentences. I attract supportive English speakers. Now you repeat. My English tribe encourages me. Now you repeat. We learn and grow together. Now you repeat. I help others while helping myself. Now you repeat. Connection makes learning joyful. Now you repeat. Confidence in different social situations. Different social situations require different types of confidence. Ordering coffee requires brief transactional confidence. Job interviews need professional confidence. Parties call for social, small talk confidence. Building confidence means practicing for various situations. Start by mastering one situation completely. Maybe it's ordering food. Practice every possible variation. Learn how to ask about ingredients, make special requests, handle misunderstandings. Once you're confident ordering food anywhere, move to the next situation. This systematic approach builds solid, reliable confidence. Role-play different situations by yourself or with a partner. Pretend you're at a doctor's appointment, a job interview, a social gathering. Practice common phrases and questions for each situation. The more you practice in safe environments, the more confident you'll feel in real situations. Let's practice some situation-specific sentences. I can handle any conversation. Now you repeat. I prepare for different situations. Now you repeat. Practice makes me ready. Now you repeat. I adapt my English naturally. Now you repeat. Every situation teaches me something. Now you repeat. The mindset of a confident English speaker. Confidence is as much about mindset as skill level. Two people with identical English abilities can have completely different confidence levels. The difference? How they think about their English and themselves as English speakers. Let's explore the mindset shifts that create lasting confidence. From fixed to growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, I'm bad at English. I'll never speak well. Some people have language talent I don't. This mindset kills confidence before you even try. A growth mindset says, I'm learning English. I'm not fluent yet. With practice, I can improve anything. This mindset builds confidence with every effort. Notice yourself talk about English. Do you say I can't or I can't yet? That small word, yet, changes everything. It acknowledges current limitations while leaving room for future growth. It transforms frustration into motivation and failure into learning opportunities. Practice growth mindset statements daily. When you make mistakes, say, "Good, now I know what to work on." When something feels hard, say, "This is where I'm growing." When you compare yourself to others, say, "They show me what's possible for me too." Let's practice some growth mindset sentences. I am learning and growing. Now you repeat. Yet is my powerful word. Now you repeat. Challenges help me improve. Now you repeat. My potential is unlimited. Now you repeat. Every day I become more capable. Now you repeat. Embracing your unique English voice. Many learners try to sound exactly like native speakers, losing their own unique voice in the process. But your English doesn't need to sound like it came from London or New York. Your English can carry traces of your homeland, your culture, your personality, and still be perfect for communication. Think about successful non-native English speakers you admire. They didn't lose their identity in English. They expressed it. Your accent tells your story. Your unique phrases show your creativity. Your perspective enriches English conversations. Embrace these differences as strengths, not weaknesses. Develop your own English style. Maybe you love using colourful expressions from your culture translated into English. Perhaps you have a talent for explaining complex ideas simply. Find what makes your English special and lean into it. Confidence comes from authenticity, not imitation. Let's practice some authenticity sentences. My English voice is unique and valuable. Now you repeat. I bring my culture to English. Now you repeat. My accent tells my story. Now you repeat. Different is beautiful in language. Now you repeat. I speak English as myself. Now you repeat. Your daily confidence action plan. Knowledge without action changes nothing. You need a practical plan to build confidence day by day. Here's a simple but powerful daily routine that takes just 30 minutes but creates lasting confidence. Adjust it to fit your life, but commit to daily action. Morning, 10 minutes of activation. Start with 5 minutes of English affirmations and positive self-talk. Stand tall, speak clearly, and remind yourself why you're learning English. Follow with 5 minutes of shadowing practice, using content that energizes you. Maybe from this podcast or your favourite English speaker. Choose affirmations that resonate with you personally. If you're learning English for work, affirm your professional abilities. If it's for travel, visualize successful conversations in different countries. Make it personal and meaningful to maintain motivation. Afternoon, 10 minutes of real-world practice. Use English in a real situation, however small. Send an email, make a phone call, chat with someone online, or even talk to yourself about your day. The key is using English for real communication, not just study. This builds practical confidence. If you work or study in your native language all day, take a short English break. Step outside and describe what you see in English. Call a business to ask about their hours. Leave a comment on an English YouTube video. These small actions accumulate into major confidence. Evening, 10 minutes of reflection and preparation. Review your English use for the day without judgment. What went well? What did you learn? Write 3 sentences in your English diary. Then prepare 1 new phrase or question for tomorrow. End by listening to relaxing English content as you wind down. This reflection time is crucial for processing experiences and building long-term confidence. Your brain needs time to consolidate what you've learned and experienced. Make this a calm, positive time that you look forward to each day. Let's practice some action plan sentences. I commit to daily English practice. Now you repeat. 30 minutes changes everything. Now you repeat. Morning, afternoon, evening. I practice. Now you repeat. Small actions create big results. Now you repeat. I am building unstoppable confidence. Now you repeat. Celebrating your confidence journey. As we come to the end of today's episode, I want you to take a moment to appreciate yourself. Learning English takes courage. Practicing when you're not confident takes even more courage. You're doing something amazing, and you deserve recognition, especially from yourself. Remember, confidence isn't a destination you reach once and stay forever. It's a practice, a choice you make daily. Some days confidence comes easily. Other days you have to dig deep to find it. Both are normal. Both are part of your journey. What matters is that you keep showing up. Your English doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. Your voice doesn't need to be flawless to be heard. Your message doesn't need to be grammatically correct to touch hearts and minds. You have something unique to offer the world in English, and the world needs to hear it. Every time you speak English, you inspire someone else who's afraid. Every time you try despite fear, you grow stronger. Every mistake you make and learn from paves an easier path for the next learner. You're not just building your own confidence, you're contributing to a more connected, understanding world. Let's end with some celebration sentences. I celebrate my English journey. Now you repeat. I am proud of my progress. Now you repeat. My confidence inspires others. Now you repeat. I contribute to a connected world. Now you repeat. My English voice matters. Now you repeat. Your next steps. This episode has given you tools, techniques, and mindset shifts for building English confidence. But information without implementation is just entertainment. Your confidence grows through action, not just listening. So here's what I want you to do next. First, choose one technique from today that resonated with you. Maybe it's the mirror method, or morning affirmations, or finding your English tribe. Commit to trying it for 1 week, just 1 week. Notice how your confidence shifts with consistent practice. Second, write down your personal reason for learning English. Make it specific and emotional. Not just for work, but to lead international projects and inspire my team. Not just for travel, but to make friends around the world and understand different cultures. Keep this reason close when confidence wavers. Finally, make a confidence promise to yourself. Promise to speak English every day, even if just to yourself. Promise to be patient with your progress. Promise to celebrate small wins. Promise to keep going when it's hard. Your future confident self is counting on today's promises. This is Tom from Daily Dose of English. Thank you for spending this time with me, building your confidence one word at a time. Remember, you already have everything you need to be a confident English speaker, You just need to practice, believe, and keep showing up. Keep listening to this episode whenever you need a confidence boost. Practice the shadowing exercises until they feel natural. Most importantly, use your English in the real world. That's where true confidence lives. Not in perfect grammar books, but in real conversations with real people. Until next time, speak boldly, make mistakes proudly, and trust your English journey. You're doing better than you think. Goodbye for now, and keep believing in yourself.